on simplicity. What a great way to start. First of all, I've been watching this trend where we have these books like Such and Such for Dummies. Do you know these books, these Such and Such for Dummies? My daughters point out that I'm very similar looking, so this is kind of a problem. But I was looking online at Amazon.com for other books like this. You know, there's also something called the Complete Idiot's Guide. There's a sort of a business model around being stupid in some sense. We like to have technology make us feel bad for some strange reason. But I don't really like that, so I wrote a book called The Laws of Simplicity. I was in Milan last week for the Italian launch. It's kind of a book about questions about simplicity. Very few answers. I'm also wondering myself, what is simplicity? Is it good? Is it bad? Is complexity better? I'm not sure. After I wrote The Laws of Simplicity, I was very tired of simplicity, as you can imagine. And so in my life, I discovered that vacation is the most important skill for any kind of overachiever. Because your companies will always take away your life, but they can never take away your vacation, in theory. So I went to the Cape last summer to hide from simplicity. And I went to the Gap because I only have black pants, so I bought khaki shorts, whatever. And unfortunately, their branding was all about keep it simple. I opened up a magazine, Visa's branding was Business Takes Simplicity. I developed photographs, and Kodak said keep it simple. So I felt kind of weird. The simplicity was sort of following me around. So I turned on the TV. And I don't watch TV very much, but you know this person? This is Paris Hilton, apparently. And she has this show, The Simple Life. So I watched this. It's not very simple, a little bit confusing. So I looked for a different show to watch. So I opened up this TV guide thing, and on the E! channel, this Simple Life show is very popular. They'll play it over and over and over. So it was traumatizing, actually. So I wanted to escape again, so I went on my car, and Cape Cod, very idyllic roads, and all of us can drive in this room. And when you drive, these signs are very important. It's a very simple sign. It says road and a road approaching. So I was driving along okay, and then I saw this sign. I was scared. So I thought complexity was attacking me suddenly, so I thought, simplicity, very important. But then I thought, well, simplicity, what would that be like on the beach? What if the sky was 41% gray? Wouldn't that be the perfect sky, if the simplicity sky? But in reality, the sky looked like this. It was a beautiful, complex sky, the pinks and blues. We can't help but love complexity. Human beings, we love complex things. We love relationships, very complex. So we love this kind of stuff. I'm at this place called the Media Lab. Maybe some of you guys have heard of this place. It's designed by I.M. Pei, one of the premier modernist architects. Modernism means white box, and it's a perfect white box. And some of you guys are entrepreneurs, etc., or whatever. I was last month I was at Google, and boy, that cafeteria, man. You guys have things here in Silicon Valley like stock options. See, in academia, we get titles. Lots of titles. Last year at TED, these were my titles. I had a lot of titles. I have a default title as a father of a bunch of daughters. This year at TED, I'm happy to report that I have new titles in addition to my previous titles. I'm another Associate Director of Research. And this also happened also. I have 5 daughters now. That's my baby Reina. Thank you. And so my life is much more complex because of the baby, actually. But that's okay. We will still stay married, I think. But looking way back when I was a child, you see, I grew up in a tofu factory in Seattle. Many of you may not like tofu because you haven't had good tofu, but tofu is a good food. It's a very simple kind of food. It's very hard work to make tofu. As a child, we used to wake up at 1 a.m. and work till 6 p.m., 6 days a week. My father was kind of like Andy Grove, this sort of afraid of the paranoid of the competition, so often 7 days a week. Family business equals child labor. We were a great model. But so I loved going to school. School was great, and maybe going to school helped me get to this Media Lab place. I'm not sure. Thank you. So the Media Lab is an interesting place, and it's important to me because as a student, I was a computer science undergrad, and I discovered design later on in my life. And there was this person, Muriel Cooper. Who knows Muriel Cooper? Muriel Cooper? Wasn't she amazing, Muriel Cooper? She was wacky, and she was a TEDster, exactly. And she showed the world how to make the computer beautiful again. And she's very important in my life because she's the one that told me to leave MIT and go to art school. It was the best advice I ever got. So I left art school because of her. She passed away in 1994. And I was hired back to MIT to try to fill her shoes, but it's so hard. It's this amazing person, Mila Cooper. When I was in Japan, I went to art school in Japan, I had a nice sort of situation because somehow I was connected to Paul Rand. Some of you guys know Paul Rand, the greatest graphic designer. I'm sorry out there. The greatest graphic designer. Paul Rand designed the IBM logo, the Westinghouse logo. He basically said, I've designed everything. And also, Iko Tanaka was a very important mentor in my life, the Paul Rand of Japan. He designed most of the major icons of Japan, like Issey Miyake's brand, and also Muji. When you have mentors, yesterday Kareem Abdul-Jabbar talked about mentors, these people in your life. The problem with mentors is that they all die. This is a sad thing, but it's actually a happy thing in a way, because you can remember them in their pure form. I think that the mentors that we all meet sort of humanize us. When we get older, you're all freaked out, whatever. The mentors calm us down, and I'm grateful for my mentors, and I'm sure all of you are too. Because the human thing is very hard when you're at MIT. The T doesn't stand for human. It stands for technology. And because of that, I always wondered about this human thing. So I've always been Googling this word human to find out how many hits I get. In 2001, I had 26 million hits. And for computer, because computer's against human a bit, I have 42 million hits. Let me do an Al Gore here. So if you sort of compare that like this, you'll see that computer versus human, I've been tracking this last year. Computer versus human over the last year has changed. It used to be kind of 2 to 1. Now humans are catching up. Very good as humans. We're catching up to computers. In the simplicity realm, it's also interesting. So if you compare complexity to simplicity, it's also catching up in a way too. So somehow humans and simplicity are intertwined, I think. I have a confession. I'm not a man of simplicity. I spent my entire early career making complex stuff, lots of complex stuff. I wrote computer programs to make complex graphics like this. I had clients in Japan to make really complex stuff like this. And I've always felt bad about it in a sense. So I hid in the time dimension. I built things in the time graphics dimension. I did this series of calendars for Shiseido. This is a floral-themed calendar in 1997. And this is a firework calendar. So you launch the number into space because Japanese believe that when you see fireworks, you're cooler for some reason. This is why they have fireworks in the summer. Very extreme culture. Lastly, this is a fall-based calendar because I had so many leaves in my yard. So this is the leaves in my yard, essentially. And so I made a lot of these types of things. I've been lucky to have been there before people made these kind of things. And so I made all this kind of stuff that messes you with your eyes. I feel kind of bad about that. Tomorrow, Paola Antonelli speaking. I love Paola. She has this show right now at MoMA where I have some of these early works are here on display at MoMA on the walls. If you're in New York, please go and see that. But I've had a problem because I make all this flying stuff, and people say, oh, I know your work. You're the guy that makes eye candy. And when you're told this, you feel kind of weird. Eye candy. Sort of pejorative, don't you think? So I say instead, no, I make eye meat instead. And eye meat is something different, something more fibrous, something more powerful, perhaps. But what could that be? Eye meat. I've been interested in computer programs all my life, actually. Computer programs are essentially trees. And when you make art with a computer program, there's kind of a problem. When you ever make art with a computer program, you're always on the tree. And the paradox is that for real excellent art, you want to be off the tree. So this is the sort of the complication I found. So to get off the tree, I began to use my old computers. I took these to Tokyo in 2001 to make computer objects. This is a new way to type on my old Color Classic. You can't type very much on this. I also discovered that a IR mouse responds to CRT emissions and starts to move by itself. So this is a self-drawing machine. And also, one year, the G3 Bondi Blue thing, that caddy would come out like dangerous, like whack, like that. So I thought, this is very interesting. What if I make it like a car crash test? So I have it crash test. You can sort of measure the impact. And stuff like this are things I made just to sort of understand what these things are. Shortly after this, 9/11 happened. I was very depressed. I was concerned with contemporary art that was all about piss and sort of really sad things. And so I wanted to think about something happy. So I focused on food as my area. You know, these sort of clementine peel things. In Japan, it's a wonderful thing to remove the clementine peel just in one piece. Who's done that before? One piece clementine? Oh, you guys are missing out if you haven't done it yet. It's very good. And I discovered that I can make sculptures out of this, actually, in different forms. If you dry them correctly, you can make like elephants and like spheres and stuff. My wife didn't like these because they mold, so I had to stop that. So I went back to the computer, and I bought 5 large fries and scanned them all. And I was looking for some kind of food theme, and I wrote some software to automatically lay out French fry images. And as a child, I'd hear that song, you know, oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain. So I made this amber waves image. It's sort of a Midwest cornfield out of French fries. And also, as a child, I was the fattest kid in class, so I used to love Cheetos. Oh, I love Cheetos, yummy. So I wanted to play with Cheetos in some way. I wasn't sure where to go with this. I invented Cheeto Paint. Cheeto Paint is a very simple way to paint with Cheetos. I discovered that Cheetos are good expressive material. And with these Cheetos, I began to think, what can I make with these Cheetos? And so I began to crinkle up potato chip flecks and also pretzels. I was looking for some kind of form, and in the end, I made 100 butter fries. Did you get it? And each butter fry is composed of different pieces. People ask me, how did I make the antenna? Sometimes we find hair in food. That's my hair. My hair's clean. It's okay. I'm a tenured professor, which means basically I don't have to work anymore. It's a strange business model. I can come into work every day and staple 5 pieces of paper and just stare at it with my latte. End of story. But I realized that life could be very boring. So I've been thinking about life, and I noticed that my camera, my digital camera versus my car, very strange thing. The car is so big, the camera is so small, yet the manual for the camera is so much bigger than the car manual. Doesn't make any sense. So I was in a Cape one time, and I typed right through the word simplicity, and I discovered in this weird M. Night Shyamalan way that I discovered letters M-I-T. In the word simplicity and complexity, M-I-T occur in perfect sequence. It's a bit eerie, isn't it? So I discovered maybe I'll do this for the next 20 years or something. And I wrote this book, Laws of Simplicity. It's a very short, simple book. There are 10 laws and 3 keys. The 10 laws and 3 keys, I won't go over them because that's why I have a book, and also that's why it's on the web for free. But the laws are kind of like sushi in a way. There are all kinds. In Japan, they say that sushi is challenging. You know, the uni is the most challenging, so number 10 is challenging. People hate number 10, like they hate uni, actually. The 3 keys are easy to eat. This is anago, cooked already, so easy to eat. So enjoy your sushi meal later with the laws of simplicity. Because I want to simplify them for you, because that's what this is about. I have to simplify this thing. So if I simplify the laws of simplicity, I have what's called the cookie versus laundry thing. Anyone who has kids knows that if you offer a kid a big cookie or a small cookie, which cookie are they going to take? The big cookie. You can say the small cookie has Godiva chocolate bits in it, but it doesn't work. They want the big cookie. But if you offer kids 2 piles of laundry to fold, the small pile or the big pile, which will they choose? Strangely, not the big pile. So I think it's as simple as this. You know, when you want more, it's because you want to enjoy it. When you want less, it's because it's about work. And so to boil it all down, simplicity is about living life with more enjoyment and less pain. I think this is a sort of simple more versus less. Basically, it always depends. This book I wrote because I want to figure out life. I love being alive, I like to see things, and so life is a big question, I think, in simplicity, because you're trying to simplify your life. And I just love to see the world. The world is an amazing place. By being at TED, we see so many things at one time. And I can't help but enjoy looking at everything in the world. Like everything you see, everything you wake up. It's such a joy to sort of experience everything in the world, from everything from a weird hotel lobby to saran wrap placed over your window to this moment where I had my road in front of my house paved dark black, and this white moth was sitting there dying in the sun. And so this whole thing has struck me as exciting to be here because life is finite. This is given to me by the chairman of Shiseido. He's an expert in aging. This horizontal axis is how old you are, 12 years old, 24-year-old, 74, 96 years old. And this is some medical data. So brain strength increases up to 60, and then after 60, it sort of goes down. Kind of depressing in a way. Also, if you look at your physical strength, you know, I have a lot of cocky freshmen at MIT, so I tell them, oh, your body is really getting stronger and stronger, but in your late 20s, mid-30s, cells say die. okay? I guess it'll work harder sometimes. And if you have your vision is interesting. As you age from infant age, your vision gets better, and maybe in your late teens, early 20s, you're looking for a mate, and your sort of vision goes after that. It's probably good. Your social responsibility is very interesting. So as you get older, you may have kids, whatever, and then the kids graduate and you have no responsibility anymore. It's very good too. But if any people ask, what actually goes up? Does anything go up? What's the positive part of this, I think wisdom always goes up. I love these 80-year-old, 90-year-old guys and women. They have so many thoughts and they have so much wisdom. And I think, this TED thing, I've come here, I guess this is the 4th time. And I come here for this wisdom, I think. I mean, this whole TED effect, I think, it sort of ups your wisdom somehow. And I'm so glad to be here, and I'm very grateful to be here, Chris. And this is an amazing experience for me as well.